corporate restructuring finally hits Regal. Hey everyone, this is Kevin T. Rodriguez, film critic of iCritic.net, and we've got some unfortunate news today for all you movie theater lovers out there. This one actually hurts me on a bit of a personal level, but Regal has announced that they are going to be closing 12 U.S. cinemas as it grapples with the bankruptcy. Now, some of you might be looking at me and saying, well, what's the deal, Kevin? It's only 12 cinemas. Why is that a big problem? And here's the thing. I understand. 12 cinemas does not sound like a whole lot of movie theaters. In fact, considering that they have over 500 movie theaters and they're only closing 12, maybe some would say this is a much ado about nothing. But the thing is, every movie theater has its own little story, and some of these theaters that have been closed are unique Regal locations that they go beyond what a regular Regal is. And of course, and here's the thing, it was even said that Regal would be closing at least 20 of these theaters, so more is on the way. So let's look at this article from Deadline. No surprise here, but we hear Regal has shuttered 12 of its 542 multiplexes as parent company Cineworld remains in Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Those 12 include Anaheim Hills 14, Calabasas Stadium 6, West Park 8 in the Los Angeles market. This one's the one that's going to hurt, and I'm going to tell you why in a minute. Crow Canyon Stadium 6 in the San Francisco area. The Broadway Fair in Fresno, California. Richland Crossing Stadium in the Philly area. Parkway Plaza Stadium 12 in the Seattle-Tacoma area. Greenville Grande Stadium in North Carolina. Middleburg Town Square Stadium 16 in Cleveland. Akron Sherwood Stadium 10 in Portland, Oregon. Colonnade Stadium 14 in Las Vegas. This is another one that hurts because, there's not that many theaters in Las Vegas. So for them to lose one, especially a Regal, if you are a Regal Unlimited fan, you don't have a lot of places to use that Regal Unlimited there now. And the Aramillo Star Stadium 16 in Texwood. Sources tell us that many of these theaters are older venues and run down, and it's not shocking to see them go the wayside. Of the bunch, we hear an exhibitor might make a play for the lease of Calabasas Stadium given its upscale location. AMC has been buzzed. How is that? The landlord on Calabasas Stadium 6 is Caruso Management, and they're already in business with the number one exhibitor with properties at the Grove in Los Angeles and the Americana in Glendale, California. Although not jarring here is that all the venues which have closed are among the 20 leases that Regal is rejecting in its Chapter 11 filing. Now, even though leases are rejected in a Chapter 11 filing, that doesn't mean that Regal has completely abandoned the properties. They could still work out a deal with the landlord. But a closed theater is a closed theater. Cineworld, as part of its bankruptcy, it asked the court to reject 20 unprofitable but still active Regal leases because its U.S. theater portfolio was a big contributor to its financial hold. It, like most chains, reached agreements with landlords to postpone rent payments during COVID, but said that now average monthly rent owed was up by almost 30% due to the impact of deferred payments. Unloading the leases would save the Cineworld estates about $12 million and, quote, reduce high fixed operational costs and better position the debtors to conduct competitive operations going forward, the filing said. A hearing for this is set on October 6th. While Regal, like all major chains, closed due to COVID starting in mid-March 2020, the chain reopened cinemas for Warner Brothers Tenet, where they could in late August 2020. NYC and LA proper weren't permitted theaters to be open then. However, when the major studios began moving big tentpoles to 2021 and beyond, Cineworld decided to close down again until supply of features returned, which was March 2021. Why didn't Cineworld claim bankruptcy during COVID? Sources say that filing Chapter 11 is an easier prospect now for the chain since exhibition returned online versus during the thick of COVID when the entire sector was in a sling. Basically, one of the things about filing for bankruptcy is that when you file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, one of the ways you survive is you've got to show that the business is improving or has a lot of potential to improve and that they can successfully get out of bankruptcy. If you file while theaters are closed, it doesn't look very positive that you're going to reopen. So the likelihood of getting out of bankruptcy at that point might not be such a given. But now that they're doing it with theaters recovering and movies on the way, and we've already seen signs that the box office is returning, now they feel that they have a much stronger case to make that they will be getting out of Chapter 11 bankruptcy. So, critical vendors such as studios and concession suppliers and other services required to running a movie theater can be expected to get paid first, as their required means for Cineworld to run its business. In early September, Deadline reported that a U.S. bankruptcy court judge granted Cineworld immediate access to approximately $785 million in financing facilities so that they meet ongoing obligations to vendors, suppliers, employees, salaries, and benefits. While Regal parent Cineworld reported encouraging results for the period ending June 30th, 2022, today, a lot of it had to do with a robust summer and global hits Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, Top Gun Maverick, and Jurassic World Dominion. The chain remained bleak on the immediate future, projecting the box office wouldn't return to pre-pandemic levels until 2025. I think that might be a little too pessimistic, but October is basically the month of Black Adam. If you're not seeing Black Adam, there's probably not a whole lot you want to watch. So anyway, here's the thing. Let's talk about these theaters. Now, I already hinted that like this one in Vegas, you know, me and my wife go to Vegas fairly frequently, and when we go, we always stay at the Rio. And with the Rio, there's 2 AMCs nearby and 1 Regal. And then there's another Regal that's much farther away. I don't know which one this is, but AMC has a stronger presence in Las Vegas. And I think there's also a Cinemark over there somewhere. But the fact that there's a Regal closing in Cinemark in Las Vegas means that Regal Unlimited members in Vegas might not be willing to renew their Regal Unlimited, so that could definitely hurt. Now, this one, West Park 8 in the Los Angeles market, which is really Irvine. West Park 8 is in Irvine. This one hurts a lot to me because I have a lot of fond memories of going to this particular theater. Now, it is true, it was a little bit more run down. There was no stadium seating. The seats were not great, if I'm being honest. The reason West Park 8 was so special, though, is because West Park 8, along with another Regal in Irvine, which was the Town 6, I believe it was at Irvine University. These were the 2 theaters that decided to play art house films and limited release films. I saw cartoon saloon movies at West Park 8. I saw NC-17 rated movies that most theaters would not carry. West Park and the Irvine's Town Center 6 were the ones that showed these types of movies. Then at one point, the Irvine Town Center 6 decided that they wanted to be a little bit more profitable, and they pivoted to showing mainstream movies like The Batman and Avengers. And here's the thing, they're probably doing very well because it is on a campus. So I can imagine a bunch of college-age students liking those movies a little bit more. But I haven't really gone back to the theater since they pivoted away from the limited run movies. You see, theaters like this are the kind of theaters that you go out of your way to see movies to. But if they're showing something that you can see anywhere, I'm going to go to the AMC block or something that's pretty local to me. But the West Park 8, I would definitely go out of my way to go to that theater. I think the last one I saw there was Charlene, the animated French film about a Jewish artist who fled Nazi Germany and moved to France and was eventually found and killed by the Nazis. It was a very well-made animated film. I think that's the last movie I saw there. I checked the website. It is already gone, or it's closed, as they say. And it's just a shame. In fact, now I'm really like kind of looking, and at this point, I'm going to be honest, MoviePass is looking extremely palatable to me right now, because I would go to see a lot of these art house films at this particular Regal. But if both the Regals that show the art house films aren't there, well then I got to start going to theaters that are non-branded that will show these movies, and that's where a MoviePass is definitely going to come in handy. So I will most likely be a MoviePass customer again. Now, here's the thing. I understand why this theater was closed. It was run down, and every time I went to this theater, there was like maybe 5 people in there, with including me and my wife, 5 to 10 people. It was not selling a lot of tickets. And when you're in bankruptcy, it's hard to justify keeping a theater like that open. I would hope that another theater would buy it and continue the tradition, but you never know. So anyway, at least 12 of these theaters, and look at this. I don't know all of the stories, but I can guarantee you, like, anytime a theater closes, it's bad for that area. And some of these theaters might honestly do something interesting that most Regal theaters are not doing. If you let's go back. I keep switching. If you live near any of these theaters, let's go. Let's do this up a little bit. If you, I wish they had this as a list. If you live in any of these areas that have one of these theaters, like, maybe you can leave a comment below and tell what the theaters are like and whether or not you think it's a loss that Regal has decided to close the theater. I am always saddened when a movie theater is closed. Sometimes it really is just a really bad location, or it's just not doing as well. And a couple of these theaters might be like, well, hey, there's a better one over here, so it's not a surprise that this has been closed. But you know what? I would still like to hear your thoughts and whether or not you think Regal made the right decisions in this case. And also, I think they're going to close at least 8 more. At least 8 more. I wouldn't be surprised if 50 theaters get closed before this is all said and done as they try to restructure. I'm hoping that Regal does survive the bankruptcy, obviously, but I think there's going to be a little bit of pain in the meantime. But anyway, I would like to know what all of you think about this. What do you think of these theaters that are closing? Do you live near any of them, or any of them personal favorites of yours? Love to know. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe, and as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.